All right, then the final question that I have here is just kind of a fun one, a weird one. Is Nick Saban okay? Right? There's been a series of decisions that are just out of character for Saban, to me anyway. Like he's agreed to be on Pat McAfee's show every Thursday. Pat McAfee's just an absolute nut. So he may be, Saban may be really glad, just a fun life experience, or he may just regret this decision absolutely when he gets around all those crazies around McAfee and his bros on the show. And then after a loss to Texas at home, um, he had this to say.
But I do think that there was a great atmosphere out there. Our fans did a tremendous job. We appreciate the support. It was fantastic. And it's a privilege to play in games like this. It's a privilege to play at the University of Alabama. It's a privilege to play where you have such great tradition, and it's a privilege to play where you have such great fan support. So we really appreciate it. Thank you.
So I get it. Like what he said is like a good thing to say, right? And you should say it. It's good, but it's like it's not normally what you would hear from Saban after a loss. He would ordinarily be really ticked. He would be short with the reporters and just talk about things that need to be addressed. And maybe he did that and I just missed it. But it just seemed like an odd thing. It's just this feel good answer from a dude who in historically has been just angry about stuff like this. I don't know. What do y'all think? Jesse, we'll start with you.
To me, I think this is almost scarier. When someone is like a ticking time bomb, I think it's almost like more terrifying when they're calm because you're like, wait, I know how to handle you when you're mad. What is this? But I think the use of the word privilege is very interesting. And maybe this is my like conspiratorial mind going way too deep into this, but I think word choice is important. It is a privilege to play in a game like that. It is a privilege to play on that team. And it is a privilege to have that fan support. To me, that almost sounds like a threat to those guys. Like, this is a privilege to get to start in this game. Step up or your privileges are revoked. I see it a little bit like that. I also know that I think thoughts around the program are there's so much hate coming from programs that aren't playing in games like this, that won't play teams like this. So I don't know. To me, I'm not as concerned. I was surprised he decided to go on McAfee's show, but I really enjoyed watching it. I think you get some really interesting anecdotes and get to see him a little bit more as a person rather than a coach. So I'm excited to watch. I also think Pat McAfee is hilarious.
Matt, this is your moment.
Jesse, you're part of the problem with this country. Because Pat McAfee is a horse's ass. There, I said what I said. Guys, let's be real. Listen to what the man said. It is a privilege to play in games like this. It's a privilege to play at the University of Alabama. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. This is the sound of a man who is sitting on the front porch in slippers watching the sunset because he's done. He's through. Miss Terry has pulled the string and she said, Nick, we're finished. You need to spend some time with your kids. You need to spend some time with me. You need to enjoy your retirement before you drop dead on the end zone like Bear Bryant almost did in the 80s. It's time to pack it in. The man is done. They're announcing it in January. Jesse, I'm sorry for you. I hate it for you, but get ready. The carousel's cranking up in January. It's done. Look at the man. Look at the way he's responded to his team getting beaten by Texas, who they would have beaten, who they should have beaten if they had played a better game. And the man's just like, it's a privilege. I'm really glad to be here. That is the sound of a man who's close to retirement. That is the sound of a man who is in the process in the back of his mind going, I just have to get through 8 more games. I just have to get through 8 more games. I just have to get through 8 more games. All I got to do is keep this together until we get to the end of this thing. And then I could turn this over to Dabo Sweeney and call it a day.
1,000% no.
No.
Okay, fine.
I was
As I said,
not typically
fine.
aggressive until you
Listen.
said that.
If you're not a
It-
Bama
it-
fan,
it-
you might actually want Dabo to go there.
Look, if you don't want Dabo, that's fine. But look at who you're going to have to go after. The cupboard's kind of bare, Jesse. It's
Do you
kind
want
of
to know what
bare.
rumor? Do you want to know what rumor I heard?
If you say
after the
Dion, I'm
game?
going to puke right now.
And yep,
That's the rumor I heard.
That's fine.
I heard Dion, which
they're
I'm
already talking
saying-
about it. Let's make it happen.
I'm not about it. I think Dion, once he gets his sons to the professional level, he will go to the professional level to coach there. I think so much of what he's done is for his
Interesting.
sons. And I don't think that he's committed to college athletics. I think he's committed to hype and where the money is, and he's going to go pro. However,
That's such
again,
a nihilistic viewpoint, Jesse. That's prime
Well,
time you're talking about there. He's
he
got
could have
his
thrown
Louis.
on the sidelines. Come on.
The man calls
That's a-
himself prime time.
He calls
so-
himself prime.
That's a good
I think, and I don't know this. I don't think anymore. I used to. I don't think anymore. Dabo Sweeney will go to Alabama because I don't think Alabama wants him. He does not do the transfer portal. He does not agree with NIL. That is not how our system has been set up. And to us, winning means more than anything. So like you can take all of your religion and all of your like NIL againstness, and we don't want it. We want to win. So figure that out. I don't think we'll take him. I think we would take Lane Kiffin, and I think I'd be okay with it. I said what I said.
Oh God, please don't put that voodoo on us. Please don't. Put
Yeah.
that voodoo
So I
on us.
think I'm kind of somewhere in the middle, but probably more towards Matt than
He's
than
done.
the other side. Well, I mean, so the thing is I didn't really used to be a conspiracy person about this, and I'm still not really. But some of the things that he said and some of the decisions that he has made just make me reconsider and just kind of think. It does kind of sound like a guy who has had a chance to sit back, see kind of what, the good things in life are, and is reconsidering what his priorities are, and is like, you know what, maybe there's more to this than football.
He'll be 72 next month.
Hold on, Wes. Let's not get crazy now.
I know, right? It's just it's completely ridiculous. It's probably not true.
I think you're
but-
giving him way more credit than he deserves. I
But
think
yeah,
Miss Terry's already told him, look, we bought
Yeah.
that nice house down in Florida. We're going to go live there and you're going to take care of things for a while. I'll have your
Right.
little Debbie snack cakes. I'll make sure that you can watch football when you want to. He's going to get into the broadcasting thing. I guarantee it.
Sure.
Because
for
the
sure.
man's
he'll
good at
definitely do
it.
that.
So don't think you've seen the last of Nick Saban in college football,
No.
but he's done coaching at Bama after this season.
Right. Yeah,
And if he is, that is okay. He is going to be 72 this year. And I think anybody that thinks he was going to die on the field is silly. As much as we wish we could clone him and have him forever,
it is possible.
it is maybe
Advances in modern
possible.
science.
But whenever he leaves, he will leave. He will retire.
In
Whenever
January.
he does, we are hashtag so blessed
Yeah.
for as
Yeah.
long as we have. And I will never be mad for him choosing to actually enjoy the last 20 years of his life or whatever it may be. So
Right.
it is what it is.
Well, and as for the Pat McAfee debate, I used to think he was funny. He was just, this goofy punter dude who had funny stuff to say. And now I feel like he's just like taken the gag and just gone all the way to one side as far as possible with it. And it's just obnoxious now. And, I do laugh occasionally, but overall, I'm kind of like, he and the guys on this show are just like the frat dudes who never grew up. And it's just the same gag over and over again. Anyway,
They had a kid call in the other day. It was like an 8-year-old kid, and
Yeah.
they're like listening to him talk, and then at the very end, the kid goes "F Boston," and you would have thought that the world had ended with how funny they thought that was. That's part of the problem, people. That's the reason why society is like it is, because y'all think that crap's funny. It's not funny. And while we're on the subject, somebody find him a sports jacket, for God's sake. The man owns no shirt with the sleeves. I'm convinced of it.
Yeah.
He's like
Poor
he's like
guy.
every frat bro that I've ever run into, and I can't stand it.